Hey you should like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Don't do it just because I said so. Do it because you love it. Everyone who makes fun of Nickelback listened to them non-stop for a season in their life, and they loved it. Welcome to Forte Catholic. I am Taylor Schroll. That is Father Anthony Sciarappa. Welcome in. We're happy to have you in today. Father Anthony, I see you over there chuckling. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you, former Nickelback fan?
Oh, I mean, everyone was. Everyone somewhere around our age was a Nickelback fan. You know how I know that? Because they were played every 3 songs on the radio.
They were.
Same pop radio station, and everyone loved them until they decided to hate them, which is very strange to me. And I just want people to be honest with themselves, really. They don't need to be honest with me. They just need to be honest.
It's good calling people out first thing on the show.
Very much so. Well, that's our style here. So Forte Catholic, it's all about the joy of the gospel and also poking fun at people. So that's what we're here for. Speaking of poking fun at, we have to poke fun at something that we both absolutely love to start off the show. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah. What is this?
The thing that we are poking fun of is the church. So there's this church that we are both a part of, and we both had very recently had experiences of where this institution and the body of Christ that you and I both love has driven us crazy. And it's not big things. Like, it's not a big thing, but to you and I, it was a big deal. So one of the things that I enjoy about our friendship is that without ever even saying it, we both gave each other permission over a year ago to just call each other when we're upset, rant, and then hang up the phone. Like, we don't have a conversation after that. It's like, okay, cool, bye.
I just need someone to yell at for like 5 minutes, and that's it.
And that is the place that I hold in your life, and that makes me very happy, and I'm not being sarcastic at all.
No.
So you called me with a rant, and then I called you with a very similar rant within about 4 days. So,
yes.
but in the timeline of this story, you started first. So it all involved the state of Florida, which shouldn't surprise anyone.
It's true. Yeah, so I was doing a wedding out of state for my youth minister, and I had never done this before. Both the couples were Catholic. Now, normally, in my diocese, if both the couples are Catholic, then I don't have to send in the paperwork downtown. I've got the authority to just record it and put it away and all that stuff. So I figured, hey, I'll just bring the paperwork to Florida. A few weeks out, I get an email from the parish I'm doing the wedding at saying, hey, where's your paperwork? And it turns out my diocese definitely needs the paperwork. So I'm like, okay, well, my the headquarters is downtown, like an hour and some change away from my parish. But I thought to myself, you know what? Fine. I'll just drive down there and deal with it and just get it done with. So I drive everything down there. Then I get a phone call the next day saying I didn't turn in the cover sheets. And because I didn't turn in the cover sheets, they can't send the paperwork to the Diocese of Orlando. Now, let me tell you, the information on this cover sheet was the exact same information I had recorded several times, and the paperwork is already there, okay? And I said, you know what, can I just fax it to you, or can I just, actually I didn't say fax. I said, can I scan it to you? And then I offered to fax, because maybe they're weird and accept only faxes. No! They need the actual piece of paper. Now, this piece of paper doesn't have even a raised seal on it, so it's not even like a thing. And it just drove me crazy. Now, it turns out everything was fine after I turned it in. They got the paperwork, and my youth minister is married. Happy marriage, Patrick and Phoebe. You guys are great. But just drove me insane that I couldn't just...
Actually, her name is Regina Phalange.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I guess...
Because you filled out the paperwork.
I hope the marriage still counts.
You filled out the paperwork incorrectly. And for the 8 people that got that joke, you're welcome.
So that was my angry at the church and paperwork story.
So there's this thing in the church. One of the greatest things about the church is that we are a church of tradition. Like, we've been around for over 2,000 years, or not over. Actually, it's a little under, because the church started. It'll be 2,000 years in about 13. So
yeah, I feel like all my life we've been saying it's been around for 2,000 years, and that's always been a lie. I don't understand why
the church started when Jesus was born. Nope. It didn't. It started at Pentecost, which was in about 13 years from now, 2,000 years ago.
Okay, good. And for 1 year, we can say it was 2,000 years ago. After that, we're going to start counting. I'm going to yell at anybody who doesn't count.
It's like people who are like, my baby's 2003 months old. Nope, your baby's 37. I don't know if the math checks out, but it was funny anyway. Don't ever fact check jokes. It'll ruin your whole experience of this show and anything funny. Mm-hmm. So we got the big T traditions, and those are things like, that the Pope goes all the way back to the original Pope. You got the bishops, and they all got ordained by a bishop who was ordained by a bishop, all the way back to the original 11 disciples, because Judas didn't get those powers. He left early.
But they got a replacement in Matthias, so
they
it is
did.
both. Yeah,
they did. So we've got those big T traditions, but then one of the side effects, how like you can take a drug that is good for you, like an over-the-counter thing, or like antibiotics, and it does what it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. It kills the virus within you, and boy, do we wish we had something for that virus that's pesky here recently. But there are side effects. It's like, it might make you drowsy, it might upset your stomach, it might give you a headache, and I feel like the big T traditions are the antibiotic. But sometimes we have these small T traditions in the church that we also think are super old. Mm-hmm. And because we're Catholic, old has to mean good, right?
This is true.
So we have those small T traditions, and they're real dumb. Like, here's the thing. If they would have said to you, no, you can't scan an email because that technology only came out 20 years ago. Yes. But you can fax it because, it came out 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That's fine. But they don't even accept faxes. Like, no one alive today knows how to use a fax machine. Like,
that's not true. There is one parish lady in every parish who knows how to fax things.
No, she died yesterday.
Oh, sad. Okay, I stand corrected.
Oh, man, you want to hear something real sad in the middle of this rant?
Yeah, sure.
I was going through deleting contacts today out of my phone. Just like people, I try to scroll through it. It takes forever because I'm an extrovert. I've picked up 8,000 contacts a year, and I've had this same, phone ecosystem for 10 years. So like there are people that I talked to once, and I was like, hey, we'll get a drink one time. And I was 19. That was illegal. So we didn't do that. And then I never talked to them again. Like, so I was going through delete. I had to delete some people who had passed away. It was really like for the first time in my life. I'm old now.
Yeah.
Real
weird
sad.
And morbid,
yeah, I know. I also like how I made it sad for me. Whoops. But okay, so back to the small T traditions is like, really, like, old does not equal good. It does in the big T traditions, but in the small T traditions, it's like, come on, church. Okay. So that was your story. You did it. You went to Florida. You came back alive. I'm really happy for you.
But yours is even dumber, in my opinion.
Oh, Anthony. So this made me real happy. Ironically enough, while you were in Florida because of the situation that you had,
right?
I called you because I'm gonna try not to give any input as I'm reading this. I'm just going to read you this email thread, and this email thread came out of there's a parish, ironically enough, in Florida where two friends of mine work, and they've been telling me for months. It's like, hey, we don't know what our youth ministry is going to look like this year. A lot of parishes are in this, like all the parish ministries. Are they going to meet in person? Is it going to be online? Is it going to be some quasi? Like everybody's trying to figure it out. And I don't envy them at all. I'm really happy to not be in a parish right now.
Tell me about it.
All the small T traditions are dead now. So they were like, hey, whenever we eventually have our youth ministry kickoff, we want to fly you out, we want to bring you in. You can speak, lead worship, like it'll be our big kickoff, whenever that is. Whether usually it's in August, it might be September, we might have to push back to November, maybe in the spring. We don't know. I'm like, dude, anytime you want me to come over, I'll come over. Happy to do it. Well, they finally called me back and they were like, yeah, we're not doing in person this year. So we're going to do it on Zoom. Would you like to still be our kickoff? It's just going to be on Zoom. I said, absolutely. So I'm booked to do a Zoom from right here in this room. I'm going to speak and lead worship for these kids in Florida. Cool. My friend sends me an email and says, here's what we need from you. We need to know that you are a Catholic in good standing. Anytime you're doing an event outside of your diocese, you need this. So it's a letter for your pastor saying you haven't done any crimes. So,
Yeah.
because he would know. I don't know why it's not for the local police department, but whatever.
Mhm.
So I have to send this to the diocesan office. He says it's actually a long process, and we can't promote the event until you're an approved speaker. So can you do it pretty quickly? To expedite that process, email him a copy, but then also mail him one. Okay, here's the email. Hello, sir. Adrian Giraldi asked me to send this letter of good standing to you in preparations for a digital event I plan to help them with on September 30th. I will also be mailing a copy to you as he requested. Thanks. And then I add the document.
Mm-hmm.
He responds, hello, please send the original letter or letterhead to, and then he lists the address. Unfortunately, we cannot accept emailed letters of good standing. Also, who is your contact at the Diocese of Orlando? So, Father Anthony, if you've been following along the 2 email thread,
Yes.
who is my contact in the Diocese of Orlando?
Yeah. It was the guy who told you to email the thing to expedite the process.
That I listed in the first email.
Exactly.
So I respond, howdy, thanks for the response. Did you not get the text part of my message with the first email? And then I just copy and paste it because I'm thinking maybe sometimes when you get an attachment, you don't see the text. Okay. Right. So I just send the text back, and then he responds, yes. What parish is she associated with? Adrienne, I can see. Okay. Adrienne. Okay. Could be a male or female name. I had a professor in college with that same name who was a female. That's fine. But you should, if you work in the diocese and you've been doing this a while, you should probably know the people in your diocese. It's kind of your job to serve the people at the parish. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
So you would think.
So I go, I don't know. It's not my job to know this. So I have to go on, stalk this guy. Okay, fine. He works at St. Matthew's in Winter Haven. You know why it doesn't matter where it is, Anthony? Because I'm doing the event right here. Oh, then he responds. Oh, and by this point, I'm on the phone with you.
Right.
And I read you this one as I'm reading it, and I'm going ballistic. Thank you, Mrs. Schroll. So there are 2 people involved in this. Adrian and Taylor.
Yes.
Both very much male. I'm married with 3 children. She's engaged and getting married soon.
Yes.
To a woman. Mrs. Schroll. I'll reach out to her for the details of the letter of authorization. Have a blessed day. And here's what I said. Thanks, though we are both males. And then he says, LOL, thanks for the clarification. You are certainly right. Like I was in question about what was going on.
Right. Like you would or wouldn't know. I mean, you would or not. I don't know.
Oh, boy. So that was my experience with, and here's the thing. You want to share the thing you pointed out. I have to do this whole letter of good standing. None of this should have had to happen. Why is that?
Well, because you're not going to be there. You're not going to be in contact with, does if they play a Father Mike Schmitz video, does Father Mike Schmitz, does he have to send a letter of good standing to every YouTube account? This makes no sense to my brain.
Oh, they wouldn't call Father Mike a Mrs.
He is a beautiful, beautiful man.
He is. So here's the thing. There's so much of this in the church where mine was more silly than anything, but it's really, we can't just email. It's the same piece of paper. Literally all I did, Anthony, I'm not even sending an original copy. For some government things, they're like, hey, we need an original copy of your Social Security. Okay, cool. It's not even an original copy. All I did was take the email that I scanned to him. I printed that out and I put it in the mail. It's literally the same document. And you know what he's going to do when he gets it? He's going to scan it in and save it into his digital records.
No, Taylor, I can guarantee that is not what is going to happen. They're going to take it in a little file and put it somewhere and it'll never be looked at again. If even that much happens. See, there's 2 things. I'm sure, I would love to hear an explanation about why I cannot send paperwork via the internet. Okay, like give me an explanation, give me a reason. But I think there's two things in law. Like when you have a tradition like this, or if you have like an institutional thing, the idea is that these laws do something to either protect people or something like that. Okay, I get that. But also, there's another aspect to these sort of things, and that's the performative aspect. So they have to say they put you through that. So if they ever get like, look, we did all the good things. It's all performance. And it's that kind of like missing the reality for the performance that drives me insane. Now, feel free to correct me. Go ahead and tweet or email Taylor, and he'll tell me, and I'll ignore him. But I just don't understand the reasoning. Just tell me why we have to do this. Tell me why.
My email is anthony@nineparishesin1.org.
Exactly. Like, tell me some crazy story about a guy who hoodwinked an entire diocese via email. Okay, like if there's one example why you can't do this, I'm willing to listen. But stuff like this just drives me crazy.
There was that one guy who got himself in trouble, and he faxed it. So they said, never again.
Exactly, okay? Like, I respect that. I get that. I've had some never again moments in my life as a priest. I've only been ordained 4 years, okay? So I get that. But, like, no one has an explanation for me. I've asked around. I don't know why.
It's unreal. It's unreal. So it's like, come on, church. We can do better than this. We really can. It's like you were saying, okay, like, here's the thing. You're making me like jump through hoops like a circus animal when there are laws in Arkansas that it's like you can't buy coconuts while looking at a circus animal. It's like somebody did that once, but that doesn't mean it should still be a law. Like we can move on. And it's like, we're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's not like, oh, we started accepting paperwork through emails from an ordained priest in Pittsburgh, and now the Eucharist isn't real. Like, it's not like that's going to happen. Like, there's a difference between big T traditions and small T traditions.
Right.
Okay. I think I'm done ranting. Are you done ranting?
Yeah, I had forgotten how angry I was, and then you reminded me of how angry I was.
You know what's funny?
What?
This is how you remind me of what I really am. Who sings that song?
I wanted to say Creed, but it's not. Is this wait, is this a reference to your intro again?
It's Nickelback.
Is it Nickelback?
Yes.
Wow.
All right,
there's a long period where like we really liked singers that sounded like they had potatoes in their mouths when they sang. I don't know why we as a culture decided to like that. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm double checking myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was Nickelback. How are you minded? That's like, we should end the segment there. You know what? We're going to. That's the perfect ending.
It's your show.
We're ending the segment there because it was a perfect bookends that you did not prepare for, and then I second guessed myself. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Greetings, Earthlings. This is how we're doing the commercial. If you're listening on the podcast, why did my alien just turn to a Southerner?
Well, I mean, that is
Greetings, Earthlings. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out because I look like an alien right now. And this is how we're going to do the commercial for, hey, Forte Catholic needs some financial assistance. And I've said that before. And some people have been very generous, and it would be great. Like, we're just getting started. I know a lot of people are really struggling right now with the global pandemic. But if you have some financial stability and are able to give, I would really appreciate it. I got Southern again. ForteCatholic.com/donate. I'm an alien, but I came from a planet south of here.
Please donate to send Taylor back to space, Texas.
Hey, man. ForteCatholic.com/donate. You can give monthly or one-time gift. It's be real helpful. Take me to your leader.
That was the worst ad I have ever heard.
It's going first. It is so funny.
Hey, it's your livelihood. You put out there what you want.
Oh, man.